Hey everybody, Luke here. I've got game 2 of our weekend doubleheader versus the new High Elves. In game 1, I might post a video, I might not. I lost the PowerPoint because I don't know how to save files, so it's a lot of work to redo it. We'll see if I end up posting something or if I just let that one go. But if you don't know what I'm talking about, this is game 2. In game 1, the Warriors of Chaos got really bulldozed by the Elves. They just kicked their ass. So I'm hoping that I can avenge my fallen buddy and send these skirt wearers back to their island. So it's 2,500 points. We leave the board pretty much the way it was in the last game. There's not a lot of terrain that'll matter here too much, but I'll go through it when it does. So here's what the High Elves have. They have an Eagle, some Sisters of Avalorn, one group of Reavers, a group of Phoenix Guard. Then he brought 2 Repeater Bolt Throwers up on the hill, a bunker of Archers with a level 1, and then he's got some White Lions with their BSB in there and the Banner of the World Dragon. They're sandwiched between Phoenix Guard and they're sandwiched between Sea Guard. The Sea Guard has a level 4 with level 4 of High Magic in there. Then behind them, on the left, they have a Frost Phoenix. Here's a picture showing where the characters are. The level 1's in the back, the 4's up front, and the BSB is rocking in the White Lions. I know they look like Swordmasters, but they're not. You're mistaken. Then there's an Eagle off to the side here. And so here's what I brought. Off screen, there's a Spear Chucker you can't see, but I have a Doom Diver, a Mangler, and a Ragnarok. 24 Black Orcs, there's a BSB in there. And then here, I wanted to try something to eat the War Machines, so I brought this little dire wolf there. He is a wolf hero character that I put on or goblin character I put on a wolf and gave him the Shield of Tolus that will give him a 1-up armor save versus shooting. My hope is that plus the Dawnstone I gave him will let him, they can shoot at him all day, they won't kill him, and he can go eat the War Machines, and then he can either be with these wolves or he can be next to them. And we'll see what happens. Now, what happens is I realize I make the mistake of deploying them together, and I change that before the game gets started because I can't Vanguard with the hero in there. So that's what I'm going for with that dude. We'll see how well it works out. Over here, I've got a Wolf Chariot, a Boar Chariot, group of Savages with a level 4, a second Spear Chuck in the back. Then I've got a bus of Night Goblins with my, it says level 1, he's a level 2 in there. He has the Dispel Scroll. Got a second Doom Diver and a third Spear Chucker right next to a Pump Wagon and an Orc Chariot. So the whole theme of this army was High Elves shoot, let's shoot back. I've got 5 War Machines. Also, High Elves go first. I want to go even firster, so here's some Chariots. I've got 4 Chariots to slam into them, give them impact hits. We'll see what we can do. And then to bring up the back, there's a couple of big combat blocks and the Ragnarok. We'll see what happens. Here's Vanguard movement. I move my dogs up and leave the hero alone. He moves his Reavers to the middle. He moves, it's not Vanguard anymore. It's High Elf turn 1. So the Eagles fly up, and he kind of moves to use the building to block down here on this side, and then he's up threatening the War Machines on the top part of the screen. His Reavers decide to march through, and it triggers the Fanatics, who go out, and the first Fanatic kills 3, they don't panic, and then I couldn't finish him off. I hit, but I just didn't do anything. Or actually, I think I fell short, and he just went around me. That's what happened. So now he's past me. I'm not going to be able to even get anyone to answer him. I got to just shoot those guys. So that was unexpected and a good move on my opponent's part. Over here, we go to further. We go to Magic first. 7 dice to 6. He throws Arcane Unforging on my Savage Orc, because he knows my Savage Orc has a Lucky Shrunken Head. Who wouldn't? And unfortunately, he failed to cast, and then he used the Book of Hoth to reroll, and he rolled a 1 again. So I got lucky there, did not have to worry about losing my Shrunken Head this turn, and now I know that's going to be coming. So his phase is over. We go to shooting. His archers shoot my Wolf Riders and kill 1. His Repeater Bolt Thrower goes in my Black Orcs, but don't kill any. Second Repeater Bolt Thrower shoots at my Wolf Hero, and that's when he finds out that I have the 1-up rerollable armor save. He did the multi-shot on him, and so I'm fine. And then his sisters over here shoot my... I guess I don't have an arrow for that. His sisters shoot my Savages, and they don't do anything. But I get a volley shot from these Lothern Sea Guard here, and it panics my Wolves, and they panic from the nearest closest guy, which is right off the screen to the left there, the Eagle, so they start running in front of the lines. And that's it for High Elves turn. We go to Orcs turn 1. So I have no charges. I end up rallying my Wolves, and they just kind of are sitting. Let me get the drawing tool out. They're sitting right down in here now, rallied. Everyone else just moved up to be right next to them. The Pump Wagon came flying up pretty far, but I'm just going to get shot. I'm worried about that. The Mangler actually went pretty far as well. They both went cruising. I really couldn't deal with the Eagle. There was no one in charge in he just got too far. There was basically no one who could charge the eagle, so I'll have to worry about shooting it later. So I just moved my spider up next to him. Maybe I can march block him or something. But now my plan is, I know the building's in the way, but my Arachnarok treats it like open terrain, so I can kind of use it as a buffer and then charge over it, no problem. Everyone else just moves up, as you can see. The chariot actually moved in this picture, so he's a little further up than actually he looks. He's probably right about there. And like I said before, even though I had the pump wagon right here, he was right next to me, so I couldn't pivot and go into him. That's the the rules of random movement. So I couldn't address him with any melee. I had no heroes to run out either. So basically I have to go past and just shoot at him. So then we go to magic, and it's 4 dice to 2. With 4 dice, I go for juiced up Foot of Gork and fail to cast. I failed to cast the lesser one too, so my magic phase just got me nothing. But I figure, hey, you know what? That's okay. I got a whole bunch of war machines. Let's get it done. All 3 of these war machines, we have misfire. Both of these take a wound. It can't shoot this turn or next. This misses completely. We go over here to this war machine. The Doom Diver misfires as well, and the bolt thrower here misfires. So all misfires and misses. It was unbelievable. It was just like, I have 5 war machines. I can't even get a damn shot off. But that's Orcs and Goblins. At least they're mostly all slip shot. At least they didn't break. But yeah, now his Reavers are going to get to start eating things, because in addition to the Reavers, his Eagle's going to come on down from the other side of the building there and start threatening things. Reavers are going to come in, and then on the other side of the screen, there's another Eagle to eat my war machine. So now I'm starting to sweat. All right, we go to High Elf turn 2. The only movement he has is a charge from his terror-causing Phoenix on my lone hero. So this is where I realized this wasn't the best plan. I should have given him something like the Shrieking Blade or something to give him fear, but because he had no fear or anything, he was just on his own leadership, and he failed. And so he panicked, terror, ran through the building, everyone else was fine, and then his Phoenix just failed to charge. He didn't really want to charge, he just used terror. That was brilliant, and something that I think I would change if I was going to do this again. I would make him somewhat less panicky. But that's pretty much his only movement, I believe. During Magic, it's 5 dice to 4. He throws Arcane Unforging out again, and he gets a really high roll using the Book of Hoth, something like an 18 or 19, and so I have to use the Dispel Scroll to keep the item around. And I got to tell you, this Arcane Unforging spell is way too good in my opinion. It's not super easy to cast, but it has really long range, and I think that what it should do is it has a chance to wound your dude, and on a 2+, it will destroy one of his items randomly. So I think what it should do is only if it wounds, it should destroy the item, and it should have a shorter range, because that thing is really devastating. And I'm not really too worried about losing the Shrunken Head. My ward save goes from a 6 up to a 5 up, but on guys like Vampire Counts and other guys, some of the armies just kind of need characters with big magic weapons. That's kind of, their thing. I think it's just too easy to destroy stuff with that spell. So that's my 2 cents on it. Anyway, I luck out by having my Dispel Scroll and him not irresistibly casting it, and then we go to shooting. So his archers shoot at my Mangler and land 2 wounds, and it takes his Repeater Bolt Thrower to finish it off. So I actually count that as a win, that he had to use so much shooting to take it out, and hopefully I can capitalize on that. In other shooting, a Repeater Bolt Thrower 2 aims at my Chariot, and I don't think it actually does any wounds. Yeah. We get a bunch of shots from the sisters that take out the pump wagon, unfortunately. Sorry, I was kind of stumbling over that because I forgot to mention that I get 24 shots, volley shots from the Sea Guard on my Wolf Chariot, and I don't have it on the picture when I was trying to find it, and the Wolf Chariot dies. Going over here, his Reaver gets into combat and eats my Doom Diver. I failed my fear test, and he basically ate him, and that's pretty much it for his turn. So we go to Orcs turn 2. My Spider charges over the building into the Sea Guard, and my Chariot goes right up into the Sea Guard. Now, they're garrisoned behind a blazing barricade there, but that's okay. I passed my dangerous terrain. I'm going to get some impact hits, and his Wizard's in there. I know that block. That's the block I want to be in with my Orcs to make them break, but at least in this one, that's a juicy target. I'm not too worried about him, and I can hopefully take out his caster. Everyone else just moves up. So here's my plan at this point. I want to take these 2 big killy blocks of Orcs, and I want to bring them right into these White Lions. And there's not that many. I can kill them, hopefully. So I bring my dogs over here to try to block as best I can. So the Phoenix Guard, who I cannot get rid of, are going to be there stuck. And then on next turn, I can bring my Night Goblins to tie them up. That's what I'm hoping, and that's how I'm going to get the win. All right, so we go to Magic, and it's 12 dice to 6, so I have a huge vase. I throw 2 spells first for my level 2. Itchy Nuisance and Gork will fix it. So basically, if Itchy Nuisance goes off, I'm going to debuff the hell out of the movement on the Phoenix Guard. He dispels that pretty aggressively because he can't have that go off. And remember, I'm getting an extra die from my Night Goblin caster. He gets that Magic Mushroom die. So he threw a bunch of Dispel dice at it and got it. Then he also dispelled Gork will fix it, which would mean he'd have to reroll all of his saves on armor, hit, and wound rolls. So he dispels that as well. Now I'm sitting pretty. He's used almost all of his dice, if not all of them. And I throw Foot of Gork down, and he uses his Dispel Scroll, which I kind of forgot he had. But yeah, he had a Dispel Scroll, so then now I'm sitting pretty. He has no more dice, no Dispel Scroll, and I get Ear We Go off, and I get both you know what? I don't get both. I only get Ear We Go on the Savage Orcs. I wasn't in enough range to get the Black Orcs as well. But that's okay, because I'm not in combat yet. Eventually, I'll need that. During shooting, my Spear Chukka finally decides, the one who hasn't misfired. I think the first turn I said he misfired. I think he just missed because he can shoot now. He shoots and takes off one of the remaining Reavers, and they pass their damn panic test. So now that thing's going to get eaten. God, it's just terrible luck with War Machines. In close combat, I kill a whole bunch on impact hits. Obviously, he's steadfast at the end here. He lands 1 wound on my spider, and I direct all the spider's attacks into the mage. Now the mage has a 3-up ward save right now because he got a spell off. First, I rolled really poorly to wound. He only had like 3 wounds to save, and on his 3-up ward, he failed 2 of them. So I felt like I should have gotten more wounds on him, but then on the flip side, he should have saved pretty much all of them, and he landed 2 wounds on him. So the caster's not dead, but now he's really afraid. So I win combat by a ton, but he's steadfast and sticks around. And this blurry picture here shows that the eagle ate the Doom Diver and is reformed. It's just ignoring that. Yeah, down here I'll circle it. He killed this guy, Doom Diver, and then he's just chosen to ignore the Spear Chukka, and he's going to try to come in and join the fight up here. High Elf turn 3, here we go. So they declare a charge on the wolves, and this is when I realized I was too far out. He could angle himself so he could get in with my savages, so I flee. Flee through, don't panic my guys, and he just fails his charge. I don't even think he tried to redirect because it was kind of far. So he just stumbles forward a little bit there. His white lions go into my chariot, and that's going to be the death of the chariot there because those guys are going to hit really hard. And then his phoenix comes down here, gets in combat with my Arachnarok, so it's going to be -1 in my strength, and always strike last there, which is whew. And that phoenix is going to be really hard to take out. His eagle goes into the back of my black orcs here. Now, he thought about this for a bit, and he thought, hey, why not? The eagle's not going to do much else, and maybe if I roll poorly, he'll stick and he won't kill the eagle, so he'll tie up the black orcs. I thought that was really genius, and hopefully I can take him out. Okay, we go to Magic. It's 10 dice to 6. He gets lucky. He rolls Irresistible Force on Arcane Unforging and blows up my Lucky Shrunken Head. It was the only magic item I had in the Savage, so yeah, it's gone on a 2-up. You know how I feel about that spell. Anyway, that sucks for me, but what are you going to do? On the miscast, unfortunately, he only gets a 9 and he ward saves it, so it's like there's not even a problem for him to cast that spell and no issue with miscasting. So that kind of sucked. That was a low blow. More, on a morale side of things, he gets this big effect off, and he just doesn't even care when he miscasts. But I have a significant dice advantage now, and he tries to throw the rest of the dice at healing his Archmage with Apotheosis, and I was able to dispel that just fine. Both his Repeater Bolt Throwers go into the Savages now that they only have a 6-up ward save, and 5 of them die. And his sisters on the side over here shoot and blow up the chariot. Now those guys are seriously getting their points back. In close combat, his Reaver kills my Spear Chukka, and his Eagle kills my Spear Chukka, and then they both just reform to look in the middle of the board. So with his Eagle, I go extra hand weapons to get more attacks on him. No supporting attacks because it's in the rear, and I only land 1 on him. But with the static combat res and landing 1, he just didn't roll well, and he broke, and I didn't pursue. In close combat, over here, the White Lions kill the chariot. Now, it's interesting, because they're not touching anyone else, they're not a part of this combat. So basically, they're out of the combat. On their turn, after this combat is over, he can choose to overrun if he wants, but that will not count toward combat res. So we go to the second part of the fight now, and I kill his Archmage, throw all my attacks at him, and end up killing him, which is great for me. He does 4 wounds to me, mostly from the Phoenix. But this is, I mean, that Phoenix is out of control. I don't even think I'm throw attacks at it because it's so dang hard to hit with its ward save and everything. But I have one advantage here. I'm a big old fatty, and I've got 8 wounds, and I'm stubborn. So I'm sticking around, and he's got to chew through me. So I just need the spider to hold a little longer. So we go to Orcs turn 3. The Orc here fails to rally and runs off the board. I charge the Goblins into the Phoenix Guard. So here's what I want. Charge us up here, net them, and hold on. Be steadfast. And then here I charge both these guys into the White Lions, and I think I got a pretty good shot here. Let's see what happens. So we go to magic phase. It's 7 dice to 4. I throw a few dice with the extra die here at casting Gork'll Fix It on the White Lion, so they have to reroll their 6s, and he dispels that because that's dangerous. With the rest of the dice, I'm able to get Here We Go off, and it gets both the Orcs, so now I'm rerolling my misses, which is fantastic. So we go to close combat. It's bloody. I kill like 15, he kills like 12. He actually ends up throwing a bunch of attacks and kills my shaman because I only have a 6-up ward save now, which sucks. But I killed his last turn, he kills mine, so I think it's probably a fair trade. And at least I have Here We Go for this turn and next. So we do this combat in the middle first, and he sticks around. I think they're stubborn. Yeah, I think that's why he stuck. But anyway, he sticks. It's pretty bloody, and hopefully I haven't lost combat, so hopefully I can keep my frenzy in the next turn and just chew him up. And then, of course, whenever you rely on Night Goblins, they fail you. So there used to be Night Goblins here, but unfortunately they were running in, netted themselves, which meant that they took massive casualties. And because I did this fight first and lost my general, I had no inspiring presence. I had a reroll, but it was pretty poor, and I just failed. They broke, got run down here, and the Phoenix Guard got into combat. So this was kind of a double-edged sword because I was thinking, oh, I should have done that combat first, but even with I should have done it first because then I would have had inspiring presence, but even with leader 8, I might have broke, and then had these guys overrun, they would have joined in this combat. So yeah, I'm not sure if I played it right or not, but all said and done, I relied on the Night Goblins, and they totally failed me, so now I have to fight the guys with the 4-up ward save that I did not want to fight. Like I said, here were the massive casualties here, so I feel decent about chopping them away at least. And on this side, man, did I get lucky. My big champion spider only takes 1 wound. And that Phoenix is just like, that guy's harsh, man. He's super survivable, super durable, and he's debuffing you. Like, he has, like, with high toughness and high wounds and ward save, this guy has, like, no drawbacks. Normally, monsters have drawbacks. They shouldn't have ward saves, in my opinion. But I get really lucky, and I still have 1 wound remaining on the spider, so he's stubborn and sticks. He doesn't have your inspiring presence, but he still sticks. So High Elf turn 3, his Eagle rallies and his Reaver moves up. There's not much to shoot at, but he shoots and panics my Wolf. Kind of starts running off the board. And his sisters killed the Fanatic that's barely off screen there to get the points for the Night Goblins, because that was when he realized, hey, if I don't shoot and kill your Fanatic, I'm not going to get Night Goblin points. So that was kind of funny. In close combat, he finally kills the spider. I only had 1 wound left. It was bound to happen. I end up killing all the White Lions except for the BSB. He made his save. So the only thing that is keeping those Black Orcs in combat is the BSB who's right in between us. And of course, the Phoenix Guard take very few losses because they're so unbelievably tough with their 4-up ward save. It's just crazy. So I end up losing combat and sticking around, but now I no longer have Frenzy and I no longer have Choppas. So it's Orcs turn 4. There's no shooting. There's no magic. We go right to close combat. He does something absolutely brilliant. He declares a challenge with his BSB. And that means if I accept, I'm going to get no attacks from those Black Orcs there. There's very few in there anyway. So I send my BSB to the back because, I got to get the attacks. I end up killing his BSB and killing a couple of the Phoenix Guard, but he's got a 4-up ward save. What are you going to do there? And I only have Strength 4 right now. So no Choppas, no rerolls. And fortunately, this is what it looks like at the end. We break from combat, and I don't recall if I got run down or not, but this is where we called the game anyway. There's just nothing I can do left. The Black Orcs are no longer in combat, and they've got a Phoenix and a whole bunch of guys to go through. It's just going to be nasty, and the Savages didn't work for me. So this was the game. I think it was a lot closer than the Warriors of Chaos one. It was still a bloodbath for the High Elves, but I think it could have gone either way, even right at the end there. If I could have just gotten the Night Goblins to hold these Phoenix Guard up here, I think I could have just gone through and really mowed those guys down. I think I had a huge performance by the Spider here. I think he did a fantastic job of holding guys up, even that big Phoenix in there. Oh, it was just crazy. And then also, from my perspective, I think that having turn one, all those War Machines doing absolutely nothing and just dying to like 80 points worth of chaff was ridiculous. just terrible luck. Low magic presence in the early rounds, no War Machines, and then, of course, when you rely on Night Goblins, they don't come through for you. So I think my strategy was sound. I probably would have done the same thing again. It just didn't work out for me. So it was really well played by my High Elf buddy. He did a fantastic job, and I think it was even close right there in the middle when we were all tied up. I think my Orcs could have busted through. It just didn't end up working that way. So, gosh, I'm not sure. I'm not sure if I would change the list up next time or if I would go at it again. It kind of sucks having all those chariots that just die before they get there, but I think chariots are the way to beat the High Elves. And I think this list is not what you're going to see out of most High Elves. I think that these are way too many big blocks. Like he was even saying, oh, God, I'm all boxed in. I can't flee. I can't do anything. When you say stuff like that, yeah, they have leadership 8, but you're going to fail a leadership test every once in a while. I probably should have run that Goblin hero right up and killed his BSB in the beginning or something. You know what I mean? Because then he's hurting if he fails any sort of leadership test. So I felt like this was kind of an older style, like the last edition High Elf list, or closer to it. Who knows what we'll see? But it was a pretty hard nut to crack. We had 2 huge blocks with the Banner of the World Dragon and the Phoenix Guard at their 4-up ward save. And like my buddy said, he goes, man, I'll take Phoenix Guard every game. Those guys go all night long. And he's right. You just can't do anything to them that isn't like Dwellers or whatever. And my army doesn't have any of that. So, yeah, just really, really stellar performance by the High Elves and fun games. So thanks a lot, guys.